This is Roderick Strong from Ring of Honor, and you're listening to the Pro Wrestling Experience.
Welcome back, everybody. Pro Wrestling Experience here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. 312-564-7375 is the number. Starting hour number 2, we're going to start our promotion for the 13th anniversary of Ring of Honor. This will be live March 1st from Las Vegas, Nevada. And to help talk about this show coming up on March 1st, so, one of my new favorite color commentators out in the wrestling world. He's the former ECW World Champion, former Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, and now the color analyst for Ring of Honor, Steve Corino. How's it going, bud?
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, pleasure to be on in the Chicagoland area. You know, Chicago's real important part of my wrestling career. You said both ECW World Champion and ROH World Tag Team Champion. Both titles that I won in the Chicagoland area.
That's a great way to start out this interview. I want to know, as a guy who's there towards the end of ECW and now being a member of Ring of Honor from the early days now to right now, how would you compare competing at Chicago Ridge as comparing to competing at the OPM in back in the day with ECW?
Well, you know, it's apples and oranges. You know, both are so great, and I love both venues. And it sounds weird, but the Chicago Ridge venue holds so many fond memories to me, just because of, you know, we had the Chicago Street Fight there in 2010 with myself and Kevin Stevers, El Generico, Colt Cabana, and then, you know, winning the World Tag Team titles there. But then, of course, the OEM has, you know, I had so much fun with Rhino and Jack Victory, and then, of course, winning the ECW World Heavyweight title there. So, but, man, you know, that Chicago Ridge building always has so much energy, and it's always a blast to be there.
I remember watching a special of ECW on the network a few months ago with Paul Heyman and Joey Styles, and he was talking about if ECW was still around. He was talking about maybe having the product evolve to what Ring of Honor is today. You think that would be a case if ECW was still around?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 1,000%, because you know, a lot of people will tell me, like, oh, I miss ECW and stuff like that. And with what we know about concussions and, you know, blood and diseases and, oh, it's okay. That, you know, you can't get away with that style on a mainstream level, whereas Ring of Honor was more of an evolved style, you know, more about work rate, and it had that little bit of ECW, but also had that, you know, a Japanese fighting spirit in there. So I definitely think that it would have evolved towards a Ring of Honor style.
Yeah, I'm really digging what's going on right now for ROH. The past pay-per-view Final Battle was really cool. Speaking of Final Battle, you know, this is the second straight time after a match involving BJ Whitmer where he continues to poke the bear with you. Do you think this is going to happen on March 1st? And if so, are you going to finally just snap and just go off on him?
You know, it's funny because a lot of people ask this, and this thing goes back to the days of SCUM, and, you know, BJ was kind of our whipping boy that we always defeated BJ and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's a thing in his mind, an ego trip, or what, but I think he always thinks that he never got revenge for it, so if he pokes the bear enough that maybe I will say, hey, look, you know, it would be a great match, me and BJ Whitmer. And he doesn't realize that it's not going to happen. I love being the color commentator of Ring of Honor. I'm learning new stuff every day. Kevin Kelly's been such a mentor. And you know, as much as I wrestle, you know, on non-ROH weekends, I love the fact that I can just call the matches at Ring of Honor and not have to worry about it. So everything he does is on his own. I express some anger towards to the office about it because, you know, I want to be left alone. You know, I've lately just spent a lot of money on, you know, suits and having them, you know, customly tailored, and, you know, I don't want a guy throwing his water or spitting or, you know, just in a case of getting himself over. So, it's not going to happen. You know, he thinks it might happen, but it's not going to happen. You know, I think fans would like it, but at this point of my career in Ring of Honor, I'm very happy being Kevin Kelly's comic relief.
We're talking to Steve Corino, the king of old school. He's at Twitter at King Corino. ROH's 13th anniversary on March 1st. Steve, next question. You were talking about the commentary. I want to get to that a little bit later. We have a mutual friend here. I write TV show reports for Between the Ropes with Brian Fritz.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Awesome, dude. I love that guy. I've known that guy for 16, 17 years now, and I just love him.
Absolutely. I love Brian, too. He's a great guy. What we do here with my show, we like to promote the positives in wrestling. I think it's the only way to stand out with all these wrestling podcasts now these days because everybody wants to complain. So I rather learn from the guests that I have on the show instead of make assumptions and stuff or whatever. It's
right.
It's I can have my opinions, but I do my study just based off watching the stuff on the television instead of going off the internet or whatever.
I'm glad you said that because there's too much negativity, and it's not just wrestling. It's I'm a huge baseball fan, so I see it on baseball or movies or anything like that. And I don't think we'll believe it. It's the more positive everybody is, the more you'll enjoy it.
How would you describe the evolution of Ring of Honor? I know wrestling, of course, has been the main theme of it over the past 12 years, but what do you see and what's your thoughts about the evolution of the roster and just the product overall over the past 12 years?
Well, it's so different. It's not Dave and Rob and Doug's ROH anymore, which was revolutionary. I mean, I still think the main event of the first show back in 2002 stands the test of time. Where unfortunately, a lot of ECW stuff that I watch, I go, "Oh, it was so good back then," but then I rewatch it, I'm like, it wasn't that good. And it's just something. That's not everything. Whereas, Gabe's ROH was just amazing and at a perfect time, but it's really evolved into a television product, and that's what it needs to be for it to be successful. We're owned by a television station, and we gotta be a television product. As my son's weighing in on his opinions too.
He agrees.
But yeah, I love the direction. I love that it's such great wrestling, and then you still have the entertainment value in it. And I think the best is yet to come. It's only been 4 years since Sinclair bought Ring of Honor, so it's still in the infancy. It's still in the baby steps. So it's going to be great to see what happens not just this year, but next year, the year after, and so on.
Is there anything about your time in ECW that you would change just based off of the stuff that you did?
Oh yeah, I mean, hindsight being 2020. I wouldn't have taken the unprotected chair shots like I did. The bloodletting. I did what I had to do. That what my bosses wanted me to do. But being now 41 and an adult, and you go, man, I wonder how many concussions I suffered, and I wonder, how many times that I probably escaped with, bleeding with the wrong guy, and I was lucky that I wasn't, didn't have a blood disease or anything like that, and I also think that it's what made me what I am today too. If Paul Heyman and Thomas and Dusty Rhodes, Jerry Lynn and Justy Credible and Sam Man didn't say, you know what, let's work with that kid. I probably want to talk to you right now.
Yeah. Do you think that? Are you happy with the way your character has evolved, whether it's been in ECW or ROH, or you think it's been the same and you think people are latching onto it as the years go by?
I think people latch onto certain aspects of somebody's character, but I mean that's anybody. I've always believed in evolving your character and not saying the same thing. And it sounds weird, but Madonna is my muse for always changing, trying to change with the times and stay ahead. I always believe that it's not 1999 anymore. I'm a 41-year-old married man with 2 kids. I shouldn't have a bleach blonde hair because that's not the world we live in anymore either.
Yeah.
But I also think that people remember those aspects. Like, look at The Undertaker. Look how many times he's evolved over the last 24-plus years, and people will be like, oh, I love that Undertaker, I love that Undertaker. But at the end of the day, they still love The Undertaker. So I'm excited what people do remember certain aspects of my career, and it could be different. It could be ECW, it could be stuff I did in Puerto Rico, it could be like stuff I did in Japan, it could be my whole run in ROH, where I think I've done the most changing because, you would see me come and go, and then there would always be something different. So I think evolution of somebody's character is good because the world's changing all the time, so you got to change with it.
I always hear in interviews people talk about like their favorite matches or this or that or their favorite storylines or whatever. I never hear about people talking about the like creative or storylines that maybe at first they didn't like, but at the end of the match or whatever, the payoff, they actually enjoy it. Is there like one storyline that you remember that you're like, I'm not sure about this, but it actually worked out?
I would say that the Homicide Corino feud. I mean, that was born out of a argument in the locker room over, and I can't remember what it was, but it was something. I want to say I didn't like the way that Homicide talked to somebody, and I stood up for them, and then there was an argument, and then Gabe thought, wow, man, these guys would be good to wrestle each other, and it worked out great. Where we didn't like each other personally, but we had this chemistry in the ring where, we could go, and I think it's because of the real animosity. Are we going to trust each other? Are we not? Who's going to take the first stiff shot? Who's going to do this? And it just, I thought it went, swimmingly. Years later, it's a shame that we still don't get along, because years later it would be like, that'd be something great to talk about.
It's kind of cool, probably for you as an original member of Ring of Honor, just seeing how the company has grown over the past 12 years, and also how talents from Ring of Honor has evolved into other wrestling companies. What is it about Ring of Honor that continues to have pro wrestling grow and grow as the years go by?
I think a lot of the younger guys see Ring of Honor is a great, step to the big time, to get to the WWE and NXT, and you look at the Seth Rollinses and the Daniel Bryans and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and these guys are all coming from Ring of Honor, where they were getting that extra TV exposure, and not only being a part of the WWE, but like exploding. And I think that is amazing, and it's so much fun to see guys that they're thinking like, oh, if I get to Ring of Honor and I do this and I do that, maybe, I can win that big contract. And, and the fans, that's the cool thing about the Ring of Honor fans is when you're accepted by them and you go off, to WWE or, they remember you. It's like a piece of them went with them to WWE, and it's so cool. I love it.
Is there any guys on the roster that you wish you got to work more with? I don't say you have to do it right now, but maybe looking back at your career, is there any guys from ROH that you wish you wrestled more with?
You know what? I could be with, Dean Generico and Cabana forever. Those guys were it just seemed like magic, and I loved it. But I look at today's roster, and I'm so grateful to sit at the table, because these guys are, so good and so intense, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can keep up, or I don't know if I could do this. And there's times when I'm watching a Young Bucks match that I can't say anything but, ooh, oh, whoa, holy hell, And it's true, because they're just so good and innovative that, like, I sometimes wear like, oh man, I don't know if I can keep up with them.
Let's talk about SCUM. It was one of my favorite heel factions that I've seen over the last couple of years. The work that you, Jimmy, and Kevin have done with that faction was really awesome. Was there anything that you wanted to change with SCUM, or are you happy with the stuff that progressed with SCUM?
No, I was happy about the whole thing. I really enjoyed that it was, it lasted as quick as it lasted. It didn't last very long, especially when we went to the super group. It did its purpose, and I really enjoyed it. It gave me, once again, an evolution to my, to what Steve Corino and now Steve Corino is. And, it led me to be more of a cult leader as opposed to, just the older wrestler and stuff like that. So I really did enjoy it. And, with the guys that we had, those were guys that we picked, me, Kevin, and Jimmy. Like, we took it to the office. We're like, who'd be great for SCUM? Matt Hardy, Cliff Compton, Jimmy Lee, Red Titus, Ashley Six was supposed to be in SCUM, but then he had gotten sick. I mean, so it was just a great evolution of my character once again.
Kevin has done a great job in NXT, in my opinion. It's kind of cool. I got to watch the match you had with him before you left ROH. And what's your thoughts about this match tonight with him and Sammy? It's kind of cool that these guys are actually main eventing an NXT Live special.
Oh, absolutely. And, man, I can't tell you. Like, it's tax time here in the Corino household. And, like, my wife's like, what time should I make the appointment? I go, well, let's see. What time is NXT takeover on? Because I want to be back. And it sounds weird to just with everyday life and everything you do, it's hard to, find time for wrestling. As I'm talking to you, I have a 14-month-old, falling all over me. And, so, like, it's hard to sit down and watch wrestling as much as I want to. I still love it as much as I did, when I started watching it in 1981. But this is like a must-see. It's two guys that, I've always been able to call Sami Zayn a friend, but, Kevin Steen is truly one of my best friends in the entire world. And, I talk to him daily, and I'm so proud and excited for him. And, it really goes to show that good things happen to good people.
If people are watching Kevin for the first time tonight, let's say they're a new subscriber of this or that, what can people expect from Kevin that maybe will catch him off guard just based off his personal look or whatever?
Yeah, that's the thing. He does not look like your typical WWE superstar. But the second that bell rings, he creates magic in there. And he uses his weight, his look, his size, everything to an advantage as opposed to a disadvantage. And that's what makes him such an enigma, because he's almost like the anti-cookie cutter WWE wrestler. And that's not to say that WWE wrestlers are bad, but there's that general consensus that everybody's got to be jacked and looks great. And when I watch wrestling, it's cool to see guys that are in great shape and moving and athletic and stuff like that. And Kevin is so athletic that I think it surprises people the first time they see him. Because they're like, who's this guy in the T-shirt and big beard and shorts, and all of a sudden the bell rings and he starts going, and you're like, wow, this guy is something. And I think it goes so well towards his popularity.
I agree with you. I think it's kind of like a thing. It's obviously wrestling's subjective and it's whatever your taste is, but when you see guys on the roster, whether they come from ROH or maybe they come from the NFL or this or that, if I can see a guy and I know that it pops off the screen, this guy belongs in wrestling, it shouldn't matter what style he is or whatever look he has. Whatever, so.
Oh yeah, I believe that too. I'm older, so I grew up in the days where everybody did look different. So, when a guy looks different nowadays, it doesn't shock me as much as it might shock somebody. Half my age, and so it's cool. So because he can change opinions all the time, so it's great.
Now, I know that you transitioned to your commentating role. We're going to get into that right now. Are you still watching other wrestling companies? And if you are, what are some of the guys from other companies that are getting your interest?
Oh, I try to. I try and DVR everything, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, TNA, Lucha Underground, even, watching New Japan as much as I can. And, so it's time when I'm on my computer just, or catching something on the TV when the baby takes a nap. I love everything, man. Like, to me, wrestling is so great right now, and people talk about, like, the creative side, and this isn't good, and this isn't good. And when I sit down and watch wrestling, and, and I pop open a bottle of wine, I just watch it just to enjoy it, and I love it. I can't find anything wrong with it. Mm-hmm. I love Roman Reigns on WWE. I love Daniel Bryan. I love Seth Rollins. I turn to TNA. I love that Matt Hardy is reinventing reinvent himself one more time. I could watch Bobby Roode until the cows come home. Austin Aries is just absolutely awesome. Lucha Underground, Ricochet is just, man. It's always one guy that I could just bring to Ring of Honor, have the power and say, I need you there, and even though I have no power whatsoever, I don't book, but please, you're my guy to come in. And I love Max Striker's call. I think he tells a great story, and then New Japan is just absolutely amazing right now. It's just everything they do is home runs. Absolutely home runs that I find myself checking my phone and seeing what the results are. Because you want to see, what happened here, what happened there. It seems so interesting, and it just seems that wrestling right now, you have so many different options, and it's a flavor for everybody. You're at the ice cream store, and some people like strawberry, some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla, and wrestling right now has a little bit for everybody.
What's the easiest, or what's the biggest thing you've learned in this transition in becoming a color commentator?
Sometimes less is more. I think as a color commentator, you want to keep talking for the sake of people, just in case people turn off and stuff like that. But Kevin Kelly's always there to give me a pat on the arm, like let this fly, or if a crowd's chanting this is awesome, or ROH, let that be the commentary. And it's a tough job. I didn't have a broadcasting degree, and it's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. Be a commentator. One day I'd love to be, commentator in baseball, or Bob Dukes can't live forever. There needs to be some guys with a little bit of humor going on. So it's just learning and making sure that you check your email door as much as is on my resume in the ring. Outside that, outside the ring at that table, I'm green. I'm a young boy. So it's learning and getting advice from different commentators from the past. It's doing my homework and watching Bobby Heenan or Roddy Piper from Georgia Championship Wrestling, or Jesse Ventura or Larry Zafisco, and you go, oh wow, okay, there's here's where he hits a joke and then let it play, and so I'm once again, I'm still in the infant phase. I'm hopefully it's getting better every time, and one day, years from now, you could say, oh man, that Corino has really come a long way.
I've been inquiring and getting into business as a wrestling commentator. I've always JR hooked me into wrestling. As much as I appreciate the in-ring aspect, it's just the story of professional wrestling and the art of it that really got me into wrestling. So, like I said earlier, I decided to take a route and try to learn from people that have done it from either the ring or from commentary. I've been fortunate to have both Matt and JR on the show before. I'm honored to have you on the show as well, and it's kind of cool learning experience. Any advice as far as anybody that's interested in being in wrestling for a commentator or a talking manager, this or that?
I think it's one thing that I've learned, and it's something I kind of learned on my own from watching guys that I don't really enjoy, is staying in touch with pop culture. It's a pop culture world, so try and make your when you're analyzing and stuff like that, try to make it to where it is something relevant for today.
Yeah.
Whereas in my character, I'm old school and stuff like that, and when somebody gets thrown over the top rope, I always, that's a DQ, because one, it's an old school thing, and two, it might be a shot at Cornette, I don't know. But younger fans are I don't understand why he does that, but they don't realize oh wow, that's right, he's old school, and he would want the over the top rope DQ, so it's also trying to stay in touch with what's relevant today. You don't want to talk about a Family Guy episode from 2002, on Ring of Honor TV. You want to talk about what happened last Sunday.
True. Let's take a look at the card really quick. ROH's 13th anniversary, man. It's crazy. 13 years. I remember watching it the first time when I was 8. It's crazy, man. Wow. Las Vegas, Nevada. We got ACH against AJ Styles. What's your thoughts on that?
That's going to be amazing. Holy. And with AJ just winning the IWGP Championship back, I mean, this is that one's exciting.
I think it's a great opportunity for ACH to. I don't think he needs to prove anybody wrong, but obviously I think he's going to head into this match with a big chip on his shoulder.
And he should, because that kid is so talented. He's so energetic and athletic, and sometimes I think that he gets cooled down a little too much. And man, it's like let him go. Let's let him be the ACH that everybody knows he can be. I understand that you want him to explode at a certain time, but man, that kid is so he's a future world champion.
World TV match, Jay Lethal against the new and up-and-coming, not up-and-coming, but Alberto El Patron. What's your thoughts about him making his debut in ROH, and how you think he's progressed so far to the ROH style?
I've known Alberto for years. I had wrestled him in Japan when he was still Des Cartes Jr., so I've known him. I've always been a fan of his work. I've always been a fan of his character in WWE. He came to ROH, and they were rolling out the red carpet for him in the back, and he wanted to be one of the boys, and I thought that was so cool. And if you watched his match from Nashville with Christopher Daniels, he was so excited to be in front of a Ring of Honor crowd, and it was so genuine. And I think that won a lot of respect, for people that were on the fence that I don't know about, Ken Patron, wrestle ROH style. Mm-hmm. And then his promo with Jay Lethal in Nashville and just sold it. It sold the pay-per-view for me. If it was a one-match pay-per-view, this is the match I want to see. Because Jay Lethal is doing the best work ever. Just, he's so good at his craft, and he's just absolutely amazing. And I right now, man, that one can go either way, and I think it's going to be great.
I'm looking forward towards the Red Dragon Young Bucks. That rivalry has been awesome. Do you think in today's wrestling there's still room for long-term wrestling, whether if it's from a weekly or pay-per-view basis?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all how you write it, man. You can see 7 sequels of a great movie as long as it's written the right way. The actor's going to be able to act it out. I saw somebody on Facebook yesterday compare Red Dragon and the Young Bucks to a modern day Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, and I went, wow, that is the greatest observation that I probably see. So when I say it on the pay-per-view, whoever said that, I hope really they're getting a shout out, because I think it's the best comparison ever. Red Dragons and Young Bucks are 2 of the best tag teams in the world, if not the 2 best tag teams.
I think another comparison could be like the Rockers and Hart Foundation. I think
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Another thing, before we let you go, obviously we got the main event: Jay Briscoe, Michael Elgin, Tommaso Ciampa, and Hanson.
That's there's another one that can go either way. Jay Briscoe hasn't pinned in 2 years. Hanson is on the rise. Tommaso Ciampa is so close that he can taste it. And then there's Elgin, who is just a phenomenal athlete, man. He's just such a phenomenal athlete. It could go either way. I think any 4 of those men could win, and people are going to go, wow, I didn't see that coming, because I think it's the most evenly matched 4-way that I've seen in a long time. I think Jay Briscoe will he will retain, but if he doesn't, I'm thinking Tommaso Ciampa becomes the new ROH World Champion.
You can follow Steve at Twitter at